Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Experience Southern Illinois podcast. I am Jared with So Ill Cinema, joined with my co-host,
Allison Hasler with Southern Illinois Vacation Rentals.
And today is a special episode. We have Senator Dale Fowler, and he is going to be talking about the Southern Illinois Made Expo that we have coming up. So Senator, welcome to the podcast.
Well, thanks, Jared. Thanks, Allison, for joining us as well. Really appreciate it.
We've got a lot to cover today.
We do. It's going to be fun.
Yeah.
A lot of information.
Well, with that being said, let's start from the beginning. How did the SI Made Expo get started?
Oh, goodness. When I was sworn into the General Assembly as a state senator in January of 2017, having a business background and, being in business, growing up and being able to float around the 59th district, the 14 counties that I represent, and seeing all the manufacturing that we have here in Southern Illinois. And a lot that we have that I didn't even know we had, and I can name several, but it was really interesting because they're not, open door policies, they're not retail operations, they're kind of maybe some of them off the beaten path, but they're so substantial. As an example, Compact International, where their bags go into outer space, right? I didn't know that, and the list goes on and on. So I just thought, I met with my staff and I said, hey, I have this idea. I want to create a Southern Illinois Made Expo, and I would like to showcase what's made manufactured in Southern Illinois. What do you think? And so we talked about it for several weeks and the logistics of it, and we had our first one in July of 2018, not knowing what to expect, or our vendors going to sign up. We had it here at the pavilion, of course, and they did. They just started flocking toward it. They loved the idea, and then, of course, the anticipation of, okay, now are people going to come in and see all these manufacturing and businesses that we have? And we also want to showcase destinations. So first year, I think we had like over 2,000 people that came through the doors here at the pavilion, and obviously the caveat of raising money for our veterans organizations too.
Yeah.
That's a terrific start. So how has it grown since then?
Yeah, just to back up a little bit, when I went through the Delta Leadership, the Delta Regional Authority Delta Leadership Institute in 2008, 2009, one of the presentations that I had to give to graduate the Institute was, the presentation I chose to give was I wanted to showcase an Illinois melted Delta made product. And that product that I chose was Dinger Bats out of Ridgeway.
Yes.
A success story that started in a garage in Ridgeway, Illinois, and now Major League Baseball players, are using them. So that's really what inspired me to take it to the next level.
That's
Yeah, and speaking of Dinger Bats, they're so unsuspecting even there in Ridgeway. You'd have no idea that this is an operation that is providing bats for Major League Baseball stars and
Right.
Sure.
all over the world. And like you said, a lot of the vendors are that way. They're just these little off the beaten path that until somebody kind of shines a light on some of them, you have no idea the impact that they're actually making across the world. And that's been probably one of the most fun parts of this, is just figuring out just how impactful businesses from Southern Illinois here. But speaking of impact, you talked about the beneficiaries of the event. Can you go in a little bit, because you're showing off the businesses, but you're also raising money for organizations as well too.
Right, absolutely. Not only do we want to showcase what's made manufactured here in Southern Illinois, because it is truly phenomenal, and the thousands of jobs that are created from manufacturing. And as I mentioned, we want to also showcase our tourism, our destinations, our state parks, and the Shawnee National Forest and such. But then I thought, okay, now I want to have a purpose for this event too. Because people are going to come in, vendors are going to, have their vendor booths, pay for that and things. And I wanted to be very economical with that. Didn't really want to charge a whole lot, because it was really more just showcasing, right? It really wasn't originally about really making money from the event, but I thought, well, if we can make some money, what do we want to do? So I wanted to support local veterans organizations. So the first couple of years, it was Honor Flight of Southern Illinois, and the first 2 years we raised enough money to fund an entire flight for our veterans to go to Memorial in Washington, D.C. So, awesome. And then we just started helping Honor Guard of Southern Illinois. The groups that give the military rights to our fallen heroes through our Eagles organizations and American Legions and things like that. And then we was able to build an arena at Giant City Stables with the funds. to be for our veterans for the equine therapeutic services, because they weren't able to continue their mission throughout the year because of inclement weather. So now this opened, so now they can have their services year round. And then this year, obviously, Down the Leash.
Yep.
And also we've helped Disabled Vet, the 2 service dog organizations. So Down the Leash is again going to be 50% of the proceeds. And then a new one that we chose this year is the Marion Food Pantry at the Marion VA food pantry there. And that serves not only the Marion area, but thousands of veterans throughout the entire region that are suffering from food insecurities.
Yeah, and correct me if I'm wrong, but like the Honor Guard and Honor Flight, Color Guard and Honor Flight have both essentially said, hey, thank you for raising that money. We're actually in a good place right now if you want to take those funds and give them to some other organizations that are more in need. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Great point, especially Honor Flight. We helped them the first 2 years, and then what happened? We got hit with a pandemic, for a couple of years that really put us behind, and Honor Flight wasn't able to travel, right? They weren't able to go because of COVID, and they were doing, thanks to the support of Southern Illinois, as we do, they were, their next couple of flights were already funded. So I met with them. I said, hey, how you guys doing? I want to help as many veterans organizations as possible. So then, working with Honor Guard of Southern Illinois and talking with them about, the fact that their uniforms, a lot of them had to pay for their own uniforms because they didn't have the funds to do that. And it's just an amazing organization. I think most of us have been to a ceremony, a funeral, or a fallen hero, where they, the military rides and the taps, and and everything. It's very touching, and they were in need of some clothing, so we were able to help 20 groups throughout Southern Illinois be able to supply them with new apparel for their venture, for what they do. And then the service dogs, wow. Down the Leash is an example, is amazing what they do, and there's no question they're saving lives. And then the food insecurities is a battle that we want to help with too, with our veterans that they shouldn't be going hungry. So we're making a difference.
Yeah, that's powerful.
Yeah, and I was actually just at Down the Leash yesterday for their dog graduation. They had 4 dogs graduate as service dogs yesterday, and it is truly touching because I remember one guy got up and just said, I don't know if I'd be here if it wasn't for this dog.
No question.
And then another elderly couple that has their dog as well too, they said, you didn't just give us a dog, you gave us family, and it's so cool.
Brings tears to your eyes, doesn't it?
Yeah. Somebody was cutting onions last night. I'm like, fuck that, dude, it was. But it's very impactful, and you wouldn't be able to do that without a lot of the sponsors and a lot of the people that have partnered with you.
Right.
Can you talk a little bit about some of the partnerships over the years?
Absolutely, and again, not knowing what to expect as far as how much money we'd be able to raise, and as I mentioned the very first year, are we going to get the vendors? Are they going to sign up? Are they going to want to participate? And then, are people going to come and see these these businesses that we have here in Southern Illinois? And the first year I was amazed. We were amazed. Our team, we raised a little over $28,000 the first year. Second year it was $53,000 or $54,000. Fast forward. Since 2018, we've raised over $350,000 for local veterans organizations. And as you mentioned, Jared, we can't do it without our sponsors. We charge a very nominal fee for the vendors to participate here. We want to make sure everyone has an opportunity to showcase what they have, and then just accept some donations at the door. And our title sponsor again is People's National Bank. That's been a title sponsor for, I believe this may be the 4th year in a row. Southern Illinois Healthcare, a major sponsor. So many sponsors, and something that we're really proud of is that 100% of every penny that comes into the pavilion goes back to our veterans because all the expenses are underwritten.
Wow.
That's awesome. And speaking of partners as well too, we have some help that comes down every year for the SI Made Expo as well too. We've got some friends from Springfield.
Absolutely.
And stuff like that.
It takes an army to do this. And when I first came up with the idea, when I met my staff in the Capitol, my outreach staff, communication staff, event staff, just an amazing staff, district staff, I talked about the idea, and no one had ever done anything like this before. And I said, hey, I just want to do this, shop Southern Illinois Made, help our veterans. And everybody just really got excited about it. And it was several months of planning and to make sure that we did it right. And this has really become an event that my staff and everyone has just really fell in love with. And once we get through the first, the holidays, get through New Year's, we automatically start planning for the event, which is going to be July the 19th this year. So it's become a marquee event, and there's been other members that have said, hey, we want to do one of these in our area of Illinois. What can we do? And our staff's, hey, one's enough. This is a major deal. One's enough. So I'm glad it's in Southern Illinois.
Well, we have the expo coming up on the 19th, but we've got another event coming up on the 18th. It's a SI Made talent show. So you'll be there, but Allison will actually have a role in this. Do you want to talk a little bit about your role?
Most of my role has already been completed, so
Yes.
I get to sit back and watch just like everybody else for the most part. I was somehow allowed to be a judge for the SI Made talent show, and we had people from across Southern Illinois try out for the talent show. There was a panel of judges that had the very difficult duty to narrowing it down to, I believe, top 10.
Top 10, yep.
Yes, top 10 singer-songwriters from across Southern Illinois that will be debuting 2 songs at Little Nashville in downtown Marion the night before the expo. And the exciting part about this is that everybody gets to vote, just like opening it up on the reality TV shows. So that is really exciting. So like I said, my hard part was done, but wow, I mean, I laughed, I was brought to tears. There is amazing talent that came for our inaugural experience, and I think it's just gonna explode from here. I am so excited.
And this is one of Jared's brainstorms, and the Southern Illinois Made Expo originally, up till this year, was a 2-day event on Saturday and Sunday from 10 to 4. And what we found out, especially after COVID, was a lot of our vendors, because they come from miles away to showcase what they make here, and what we found out was that it was a challenge for them to tie up some of their staff for 2 days. They wanted to participate, so we just can't do it for 2 days. Even though the expo hall was full, we still had room for a few more, and we really wanted to accommodate as many products as we could. So we decided this year that we were just going to cut it down to 1 day. So instead of 10 to 4, that it would normally be on a Saturday, it's going to be 10 to 6. We added 2 extra hours on the end. And then the inaugural, so we decided, well, let's still have 2-day event. But we're going on Friday night, we're going to have the Southern Illinois Made's Got Talent. So, and this is just going to be amazing, as you mentioned, at Little Nashville, downtown Marion. The excitement is, through the roof, and you got to see that firsthand.
Quite the buzz.
Yeah, and there's a great range as well too. I think we have an 8-year-old girl as one of the contestants. We have, I believe he is a Vietnam veteran as well too that has made it. So there's a wide range of talent, of age, all of those things. There's actually a really cool story. We've talked about this before, but there's a girl that made it on into the top 10 that after I told her, hey, all of this is actually going to down the leash into the Marion VA food pantry, she said, oh my gosh, we actually used to get soup and we used to get cans from the Marion VA food pantry.
Yeah.
And what a full circle moment, that now she was a recipient of the food pantry, and now she's helping contribute by sharing her talent, at this event. And it's cool just how impactful and just the way the community kind of supports itself. And this is just showing that off. The community in Southern Illinois, not even just in Marion, but in the communities as a whole, and then coming together, how they support one another. And this is a great event that not only showcases the talent, but showcases the community that we have here.
Yeah, and for everyone's information, 100% of all the proceeds from the Southern Illinois Made's Got Talent will also flow straight into the Southern Illinois Made Expo, which will be distributed to the Veterans Organization.
Yeah.
So it's going to be so much fun, and obviously seeking sponsorships for that as well.
Yeah.
Again, 100% is going to go back to our veterans. And you know, as you all know, Jared, through my foundation, our Heaven's Kitchen initiative, we have been helping the food pantry there at the Marion VA stock with food when we had the food available to help, and really became touched with the mission, especially when we would deliver some food there, Allison, and talk with the people that work there and see some of the veterans that were coming in and how appreciative they were of this food. It really tugs at your heartstrings. And then when I called them and said, hey, I've got this idea that we would like to, split these proceeds with you 50-50 from the expo, and there was just like silence on the phone, and then I heard some sniffling going on, and so this is going to be a huge boost to our local veterans that are suffering from food insecurities that shouldn't have to. So,
well, if it's tugging on anybody else's heartstrings like mine, and they have the ability to be a sponsor, how does that work? And can they still be a sponsor for this year?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll let Jared touch on that, because you've really been a key player in this and how that's all going to flow through.
Yep, and a lot of times I will push people to our SI Made Facebook page. That's where you can find information for the event. That's where you can find information for the tickets. But you can also message there. You can go onto our website, simade.org as well too. And there's an email on there that if you reach out and you'd like to be a sponsor, you'd like to be involved, you'd like to donate, there's the opportunity, the options to be able to do that there on those websites.
Great. There's two options: Southern Illinois Made Expo Facebook page, and then the simade.org website. So that's two great options.
And it's important to note too, the tickets are going really fast for the SI Made Talent Show, to no one's surprise. So the tickets are still available. You can find those on the Facebook page, the SI Made Facebook page. And then there's a link actually in the post that you can click on. There's still some tables available, and then there's individual seats available.
Right, and there's limited tables and there's limited individual seats. So it's kind of, it is first come, first serve, and it's going to be, there's no question it's going to be sold out. I think, I couldn't believe, I think you said there was 3 or 4 tables sold in the first few hours when it was even went public with it.
Yeah,
So.
and I actually just found out one of the veterans from down the leash bought a table and has a group of veterans that are going to be sitting with him at that table.
That's awesome.
Exciting.
It was cool.
Yeah.
Again, how the community just kind of supports itself. But for those who can't make it that night, or if tickets are sold out, we are actually live streaming this. Swinford Media is actually helping us live stream this. Bill Swinford
Very
is
thankful
actually
for them,
one of the judges as well, with Allison, as well as Michelle Searles of Rendleman Orchards. But Bill is helping us, and Swinford Media team, and also the Spiel has been involved as well too, helping us video the auditions, and they're going to be helping us with audio the night of. It's definitely a community event. Little Nashville is providing the space for us, providing the meal, with the tickets and everything. And so, but if people can't make it to the event, there is an option, and the live voting people can do from their homes. They're going to be doing some live voting at the event as well too. People will vote on their phones the same way sitting at Little Nashville as they would at home. So it's cool that it can get everybody involved. Even with limited seating, we can still get the whole area involved and beyond.
And what's so exciting too is the winner of the Southern Illinois Made's Got Talent is going to be able to perform their winning song right here at the expo, at the Southern Illinois Made Expo on that Saturday.
Oh, that's
So-
exciting. And when is that going to occur?
So go ahead.
Yeah, it'll be July 19th, and it'll be after we do the opening ceremony and all that stuff. And one thing we haven't hit on is we do have a theme. We have had a theme the last couple of years for the SI Made Expo, and we bring a special friend with us.
We do. Good
And
point.
Do you want to?
Yeah, absolutely. This is another great thing that we've along the way. Every year when you have an event, you always look at ways how can you grow it, how can you improve it, what can you do different. So we, after the first few years, and I really wasn't focusing on the vendors, the Southern Illinois Made products, really selling their products here. But then it kind of became an opportunity for them to really, such as a Rendleman's Orchard or Cahokia rice, which a lot of people didn't even know Cahokia rice was made in Southern Illinois, right? It's amazing. And so we decided that I think this will be the third year, I believe, that the Christmas in July theme. So Mr. and Mrs. Santa Claus will be here. We're going to have, goodies. We're going to have face painting and balloons, and the balloon maker, he does the characters, for balloons and things like that, and a lot of activities for the kids. And you're going to be able to buy your Southern Illinois Made Christmas presents right here at the Southern Illinois Made Expo on July the 19th.
That's perfect.
Yeah. So you can just, we'll have sauces and, fired up jams and jellies. And the list goes on and on. So you can so you're buying your Christmas presents early, you're getting it out of the way, at least a lot of it, and you're helping the Southern Illinois economy. You're helping these local businesses. So it's another win.
It's a triple win, quadruple win. So if you are a potential vendor, if you have, whether it's manufacturing or you have a business that fits the Southern Illinois Expo target market, and you haven't signed up, is there space available for any last minutes?
I believe there's some.
There's a couple, yeah.
There's not much, and also that's a great point you're making, Allison, because a lot of potential sponsors may be thinking, well, I would love to sponsor, but I'm not necessarily a Southern Illinois Made product, and so we have that. So if you're a sponsor, you don't have to be a Southern Illinois Made product to be a sponsor. So if you want to be a sponsor, you get, there's an area where it's going to be kind of like Sponsors Row at the Expo Hall where you can showcase your business. So that's the gift that we have for you as being a sponsor. You also have a booth. So again, it's all going to our veterans organizations. And every year, as I mentioned, the very first year in 2018, we raised right at, I think it's $28,000 and change. Last year was an all-time high at $84,000. Wow. So, and people ask me, say, well, Dale, what's your goal this year? And I'm one of those that I don't really have a goal. My goal is just to really showcase what we have here in Southern Illinois, showcase our products, showcase our destinations, support our veterans, and just raise as much money as we can, and it's where it's going to go. So my goal is to just do the best we can, and what we raise is what we give to our veterans.
Well, there's so many intangible wins that come out of this, and it could be business-to-business partnerships.
Oh.
It could be new customers. There are just so many ways that it may not be just about that dollar amount, but those intangibles are so huge. And I think it's going to be a fantastic event. I think it's going to blow away again this year. So I'm excited.
I'm glad you brought that up,
Yeah.
because yes, it's great to hear the testimonials from the businesses that are here that get to network with each other, because you have it all under one roof, and they get to network with each other. Now some of them have developed these relationships where they're selling each other's products. They've developed some major contracts throughout the country. And as an example, there's a company called Mounds Oil Dry. And they make kitty litter. One of the products they make is kitty litter, and it's sold all over the country, maybe the world, in Walmarts and Targets and things like that. I didn't know that. I mentioned Cahokia rice, and it's so fun to talk to people here. And last year there was over 4,000 people that came into the pavilion. And I believe it's the first 200 or 300 that come in through the door get a free gift, Southern Illinois Made gift, which is a reason to come too, right? But it's just so fun to listen to people. Even 2 or 3 weeks later, I may run into someone, I didn't know this particular product was made right here in Southern Illinois. It's amazing, and we're going to buy that product. And a lot of these companies on our simade.org website, their website is linked to that website. So after the fact, you can order from them off the Southern Illinois Made Expo website as well. So
Yeah.
Perfect.
And I think that connection, one of my favorite times of the expo is actually not when it's going on, but it's the hour before, because the vendors get an opportunity before everybody comes in to talk with one another. And it's like they're catching up with like old friends. And I know a lot of them like see each other at markets and stuff like that, but that community that happens right at the beginning is awesome. I remember TJ over at Cold Blooded Coffee was telling us about Matt Jenkins at Saltwell Designs did some signs for him, and he met him actually through the expo. He's like, I don't do my signs through anybody else. And Matt Jenkins has built a great reputation and built a lot of, we'll say that he built a lot of connections during the expo as well too.
That's right. You said TJ started buying their products because they happened to be side by side. I believe, were really close in the expo hall a couple of years ago, and now they're working. They've got this great relationship. And TJ, the stories and testimonials he talks about how his company has grown, his business has grown from the expo with more, catering contracts, and that's what's really cool. And it's neat when you have an event and they say, can't wait to sign up next year. This is amazing. Can't wait to sign up next year. So looking forward to it.
So if they do want to sign up, they can go to the simade.org. They can also go to the SIMade Facebook page as well too, and they can also find tickets for the upcoming event. So we've got a lot coming up. We've got a lot to keep us busy up until then, and so
and we're just a little less than a month away.
Question for anybody that is coming into the hall wanting to experience this as a consumer, as for the general public, are walk-ins welcome?
Oh, absolutely. That's what we strive for.
Okay.
Yes, absolutely. That's where we get our attendance. They walk in. We do ask. If they'd like to make a donation at the door, they're going to have that opportunity. If it's whatever, there'll be, there's going to be free gifts and things like that. But yes, that's how we showcase it. And I remember every year, Allison. I remember the first year I was actually doing a television interview in the expo hall, waiting for the doors to unlock at 10 a.m. on a Saturday morning. And as I'm wrapping up the interview, one of the staff comes up to me and said, "Hey, Dale, go look outside." So I walked in here and I saw the people lined up. There's like over 100 people lined up waiting for the door to unlock. And I'm just thinking, this is so cool. And last year they were wrapped around the building, so. As an example, the relationships, Small's Meat Market, they've been donating, for the first, I think it's 200, they get either a choice of a free pound of hamburger or a free pound of bacon from Small's Meat Market, just more things like that just, giving back to the people that come to attend too. So this is how we help raise the money.
Well, and I almost missed some low-hanging fruit here, but Allison and I have been doing podcasts with the Shawnee Hills Wine Trail.
Oh, yes. Another one, another caveat here, right.
Yeah, so this year is the first year that we're actually having the entire Shawnee Hills Wine Trail on as a.
And why are we doing that? Because it is
their 30th anniversary.
That's right.
30th anniversary.
The 30th anniversary of Shawnee Wine Trail, so we're going to be showcasing that, and really, because I think we have just in the area that I represent, it's like 20 wineries.
Yeah.
And really to be able to showcase them. So there's going to be a special area for them for the 30th anniversary. So we'll be showcasing that. So there's so much going on. It's hard to think of it all.
They are so textbook Southern Illinois Made Expo because they are both a Southern Illinois made product and destination.
That's right.
A lot of them have Airbnbs connected as well too, and have created kind of experiences around their around their areas, and then they're also wedding venues as well too. So they're great destinations to go and visit, but with some amazing products as well too that are Southern Illinois made. So awesome. Well, Senator, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for your time.
This is awesome, and just really put it on your calendar, July the 19th, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Get here early and be ready to buy your Southern Illinois made Christmas presents in July. Bring the kids to see Mr. and Mrs. Santa Claus. It's just amazing, great atmosphere. And at 10 a.m. will be the opening ceremony. They'll do the colors and a couple songs and really showcasing some of our sponsorships. And as well, I believe just right after the opening ceremony is when the winner of the Southern Illinois Made's Got Talent is going to perform right here at the Southern Illinois Made Expo. The winner that you all choose to showcase. So that's going to be, and also if you don't mind, Jared, talk a little bit about what the winner is going to be able to receive from this.
Yeah, so we are in the works of getting a trophy right now that will actually be sitting up at Little Nashville, and we'll have plenty of name tags for future years But that, as well as we actually have Allison has donated towards a stay for Southern Illinois Vacation Rentals as well too. We've partnered with a lot of different organizations. Little Nashville is helping us get gift cards from all around downtown Marion as well too. And but yes, the big flagship is that they will be able to get to perform here, and they will be announced during the opening ceremony as well too as the winner of the first Southern Illinois Made Talent
And
Show.
who knows where they'll go from here? Just like Southern Illinois Made Products that started right here at the first expo in 2018 and have grown to be all over the country. Who knows what this could mean for them,
The
right?
spotlight will be pretty big, so
right.
it'll be quite the feather.
Be a lot of attention.
It'll be great.
That's right.
Yep. Well, awesome, Senator. Thank you again for joining us, and
Thank
we
you,
look
Jared.
forward
Thank
to
you,
seeing
Allison.
you on July 18th and July 19th.
Absolutely.
Yep, we will see you then, Senator. Thank you.
Southern Illinois Made.